Travel robot presence. Top 10 things to do in Cuba. Cuba, the Caribbean's largest island, drips with history, culture, and a captivating mystique. Live music wafts through the cobbled squares in Havana's World Heritage-listed Old Town. Vintage cars still cruise the streets, and the beautiful old buildings in Cuba's colonial cities evoke the feel of a country frozen in time. Cuba also abounds in natural beauty. This vast island has more than 5,000 kilometers of coastline, much of it rimmed by dazzling beaches. Coral reefs glimmer in the turquoise waters, and Cuba's lush countryside and sublime islands have played host to presidents, provided refuge to revolutionaries, and inspired writers from around the world, Hemingway among them. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell symbol for more wonderful videos. Number 1. Old Havana, Habana Vieja. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, Habana Vieja or Old Havana is a well-preserved slice of Cuban history. Strolling around the cobbled streets and gazing up at the grand Baroque and neoclassical buildings, it's easy to imagine what life in Cuba was like 200 years ago. Extensive renovations are now breathing new life into the historic buildings. Major attractions here include the Plaza de la Catedral, home to the Cuban Baroque Cathedral de San Cristobal, the legendary restaurant and Hemingway hangout, Bodeguita del Medio, and the military fortress Castillo de la Real Fuerza. Also in the Old Town, Plaza Vieja is one of the top places to visit in Havana. This vibrant gathering spot is home to some notable buildings, including the 18th century Casa del Conde Jaruco, with beautiful stained glass windows on the first floor. Nearby, the Camera Obscura offers fantastic views from its 35-meter tower. Allow at least a day to explore the Old Town and more if time permits. Number 2. Varadero. Varadero is one of Cuba's most famous beach destinations and home to one of the best beaches in the Caribbean. It stretches along the peninsula de Iquitos, which juts into the sea off the north coast. A drawbridge connects it to the mainland. More than 50 hotels line this popular palm fringe strip, and its magnificent white sand beaches draw visitors from around the world. Varadero highlights include Parque Ecológico Varadero, Varadero Ecological Park, and its two caves, Cueva de Ambrosio and Cueva de Musulmanes. Also in Varadero, the peaceful Park Josen is home to lush flower gardens, a restaurant, swimming pool, and a small lake where visitors can paddle about in rowboats. Other popular things to do, besides diving and snorkeling, are deep-sea fishing, golf, skydiving, and day trips to cultural attractions. Number 3. Trinidad. Exploring the town of Trinidad, Cuba, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is like stepping back in time. The beautifully restored buildings and cobblestone streets in the city center exude a quaint colonial feel. Much of the architecture dates from the 17th to the 19th centuries, when Trinidad prospered from both the sugar and slave trades. Today, Trinidad is one of the best cities in Cuba to visit, apart from Havana. You can soak up its lively ambience in the cobblestone Plaza Mayor, the city's central square. Above the square stands the neoclassical Church of the Holy Trinity, Iglesia Parroquial de la Santísima Trinidad. Other Trinidad highlights are the church and monastery of St. Francis, Iglesia y Convento de San Francisco, with its distinctive bell tower, the Museum of Colonial Architecture, palm trees, and mountains. Number 4. Guardalavaka. Rimmed by glittering beaches, Guardalavaka, in the Holguin province, is quieter and more remote than Varadero. Lush foliage fringes the sweeping strand of beach here, providing plenty of shady patches for those seeking respite from the tropical sun. Divers and snorkelers can explore a plethora of sea life along the coral reefs. Day trips from Guardalavaka include jungle adventures, sailing trips, and sightseeing tours of Santiago de Cuba. West of Guardalavaka, Bahia de Naranjo encompasses a large slice of coast and 3 islands, including Cayo Naranjo with the popular dolphinarium, which offers close-up encounters with these gregarious creatures. Toro de Meta is another side trip option from Guardalavaka, with its native Indian burial area and a recreated Taino Indian village. Number 5. Playa Paraíso, Cayo Largo del Sur. In a country known for its beautiful beaches, Playa Paraíso, Paradise Beach, on the island of Cayo Largo del Sur, is one of Cuba's best. This sublime strand of powdery white sand and baby blue sea skirts the sheltered western edge of the island and merges with the equally ravishing Playa Serena. The island of Cayo Largo del Sur is truly a sun-seeker's destination with a typically dry, sunny climate and few tourist attractions, besides some of the most beautiful beaches in Cuba and many. Number 6. Cayo Coco. Cayo Coco is another of Cuba's idyllic beach destinations and one of its most isolated. The island starred in Hemingway's novels, Islands in the Stream and The Old Man and the Sea, along with nearby Cayo Guillermo. As part of the Jardines del Rey, the combined archipelago of Sabana Camidi, Cayo Coco is connected to the mainland by a bridge, though most visitors arrive by air. Sun-splashed beaches are the prime attraction. Playa Los Flamencos, on the Atlantic side of the island, is a standout with its 5-kilometer strand of sun-bleached sand, while the quiet and undeveloped Playa Prohibida offers a peaceful nature trail. The island also offers excellent birding. Connected by a causeway to Cayo Coco, Cayo Guillermo also boasts a bevy of beautiful beaches, such as the ravishing Playa Pilar, as well as a string of all-inclusive resorts. Number 7. Parque Nacional Vinales, Val de Vinales. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Parque Nacional Vinales is a beautiful, verdant valley in the Sierra de los Órganos, north of Pinar del Rio. Steep limestone hills, called mogotes, slice through the valleys, creating a dramatic landscape. The valley floors in the Parque Nacional Vinales are agricultural areas where tobacco, fruit, and vegetables are grown. For outdoor enthusiasts, the park offers fantastic hiking and horseback riding in the hills. Nearby, the charming town of Vinales is a great base for exploring the surrounding area. Tour companies also offer day trips here from Havana. Number 8. Barco. One of the highlights of eastern Cuba is beautiful Barco, the oldest city in the country. It was founded in 1511 in the province of Guantanamo, and construction began on the first church here around that time. Cut off from much of the outside world until the 1960s, when the La Farola Highway was built, the city still has a remote feel. Today, visitors come here for the charming colonial architecture and lush countryside, where waterfalls and pretty beaches provide a cool counterpoint to the steamy jungle. The flat-topped peak of El Yunque presides over all this tropical beauty, beckoning hikers to take the guided ascent to its 589-meter summit. The hillside is a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve where rare birds and plants thrive. To really appreciate the spectacular scenery, take a drive down the winding La Farola Highway, a 49-kilometer stretch from Barco over the mountains to Cajobabo. The Museo Municipal is also worth a look. Housed in the Fuerte Mataching military fortress, it provides a glimpse of Barcoa's fascinating history, and the fort itself offers great views over the bay. About 20 kilometers northwest of Barco is one of the area's best beaches, picture-perfect Playa Maguana. If you're looking for something adventurous to do in Cuba, you can rent a bicycle in Barco and pedal out here. Flights to Barco depart frequently from Havana. Number 9. The Malecon, Havana. Conceived in 1901 and partly built in 1902 and beyond, the Malecon is Havana's famous seafront promenade. A walk along this top Havana attraction is a stroll through the history of the city. The promenade runs 7 kilometers from the Habana Vieja quarter to the Vedado, the central business district. Along the way, you will find an assortment of well-preserved 20th century buildings that represent a mixture of architectural styles, including Art Deco and Neo-Moorish. Painted in pastel pinks and yellows, the buildings are a photographer's delight, especially in the golden glow of dusk. People watching is a favorite pastime here. Young lovers saunter hand in hand, local fishermen cast their lines, and children clamber along the seawall. Number 10. Che Guevara Mausoleum, Santa Clara. When beach towns and resorts all start to seem the same, and you're looking for unique things to do in Cuba, Santa Clara will add some depth to your Cuban itinerary. This is the famous site of the last guerrilla battle led by Che Guevara in 1958. Che's body was laid to rest here, and his mausoleum, Mausoleo del Che Guevara, and monument, the Memorial Comandante Ernesto Che Guevara, are the town's big attractions. Etched on the bronze statue of Che Guevara in Plaza de la Revolution is his final letter to Fidel Castro, while the mausoleum lies beneath. Adjacent to the monument, the Museo Histórico de la Revolución exhibits some of Che's personal items. Che fans should also see the poignant Monumento a la Toma del Tren Blindado, a small boxcar museum and the site of the final battle between Che Guevara and the Batista troops. If you love similar content like this, take a look at my other videos. And if you like it, please smash the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. If you have further questions, feel free to comment down below. See you in the next video.